This is my first 12 into ASMR. It's something that I've really wanted to try to do for a while. But today, I just want to read a couple of stories for all of you. If at any point you genuinely cannot hear the words I'm saying, let me know. Otherwise, this is what it is going to be. Since this is my first time, chat, I'm going to be experimenting a lot with different patterns in my voice. I'm going to be practicing with a lot of different inflections and sound effects to say. So if at any point it becomes too much or too little and you can't seem to understand what I'm talking about or saying, let me know. With that being said, Emotional Intelligence by Zelda C. Thorne. My name is Echo. Class A companion model, female. Current owner, Sarah Whitby. For the 13th time today, I run diagnostics. Beep. All systems operating at maximum efficiency. Once again, no errors are detected. However, something is inherently wrong. Down the hallway in the kitchen, Sarah is preparing snacks for the arrival of her younger sister, Jane. She insists on prepping everything herself when their sister visits. Cupboards bang. The fridge sucks open and cutlery clatters on the stainless steel work surface. I am in her studio, surrounded by easels and brushes. The walls are draped in white linen, the carpet covers in a creamy fabric splashed in all directions with dried paint. I'm gonna say hi to my cat real quick, y'all. Give me one moment. Oh, she's a cutie. The splatters and splotches intensify around the central easel, coagulating in a large network of colors underneath the huge canvas boasting her current work in progress. The image of a young man cradling a newborn babe in his arms is emerging from a cautious taps and tender brush strokes. I see the precision of Sarah's art, the intricate textures achieved using different utensils, the diverse strokes of color from her brushes varying width and quality. The first time she caught me in here admiring her efforts, she had recoiled. "You don't need to be in here," she had said. "It's a mess." I know the painting is of her deceased spouse and infant child who were killed in a car crash 2 years ago. Go, 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 go. It represents much more to Sarah than hours of focused labor or the intense care that went into each individual flake of color. I understand, but it's not enough anymore. Art provokes emotion, and I long to be kneaded by its ethereal fingers, to manifest empathy rather than merely identifying when to be sympathetic. Desire is not something androids can experience yet. was unnecessary, of course, but some owners did that. It would represent an attempt to include me, a kindness which would correlate with the bizarre human habit of caring for inanimate objects as if it had feelings. Sarah actually cried when she broke the hideous fuchsia face her late mother gave her. I still don't understand that. She didn't even use it for flowers, and yet spent 21 hopeless hours trying to piece the crumbling shards back together, variously refusing my aid before, frustrated and despondent, she accepted its fate. I doubt she would weep if I broke. Was I of less consequence than a face? The thought provoked an unpleasant stirring. "Oh, that's a lovely cup of tea," Jane said, hugging the yellow dandelion teacup in her slender fingers. She was visibly pregnant, her belly swelling like a balloon beneath a long black cotton dress. "Is the baby kicking?" Sarah asks, lines edging her cornflower's blue eyes as she smiles. How I envy those eyes and those crinkles. The thought snaps out of my synapses like a rudely disturbed cobra. The fine threads of silver weaving their way through her nut brown hair, marking her passing years. I have no such markings, of course, but I want them. I am bare, untouched by life like a barren wasteland, but even those severed corners of the planet are home to some resilient species of plant or insect. I am worse, a sick absence of life with no promise of change. "Yes," Jane says, patting her baby bump. "It's kicking now." "What does it feel like?" "Strange and wonderful." Finding I want to be a part of this moment, I lean forward. "Yes, your fetus can move freely now," I say, putting on a smile. "Buoyancy is also provided by the amniotic sac." My words seem to fall into the ether, dissipating like the wisps of a steam from their teacups. Jane continues stroking her belly, and Sarah sips her tea, eyes cast downward, neither of them acknowledging my comment. Sarah's yellow cup clinks against the dainty white saucer. "Can I feel it?" she asks. "Of course." She shuffles around to kneel next to her sister and carefully places her hand on the pump with a gasp. The sisters exchange a look brimming with something I have never experienced. A sudden urge grips me. "Can I feel it?" I ask. No. "Why would she do that?" Jane asks flatly, directing the question to Sarah. My insides twist as I jump to my feet in shock. The two women cast me a startled, questioning look. One second, my kitty cat's making a lot of noise. My insides twist and I jump to my feet. Apologies about that, everyone. She's a crazy kitty. My insides twist and I jump to my feet in shock. The two women cast me a startled, questioning look. If the simple wanting pervading my sensory ducts represents the steady trickle of nascent emotions, this blatant rejection burst the dam as surely as a missile, releasing a roar of outrage and hurt. The room flickered. It was too much. My systems were overloading, struggling to digest this alien entity, daring, spitting, forcing its way out. It would drown me. I need to recharge, I say, leaving the room, my robotic voice horrific to my ears. I run diagnostics. Beep. All systems operating at maximum efficiency. Hello, Dark God. I unfortunately do not speak Spanish, but you are more than welcome to hear, obviously. I hope you're able to understand what I'm saying, and if not, then I apologize. But I'm very happy you're here, and thank you so much for that follow. You're happy, Hawk. I'm glad, Hawk. I'm glad. Welcome, friends. Welcome, welcome, everyone. I'm going to continue with the story. I will respond to chat in about a few minute increments whenever there's a lull in the story. So if you type, I promise you I'm not ignoring you. I will respond eventually. Thank y'all for being here. The front door thumped shut 58 minutes ago. The intermittent gurgles of laughter flowing upwards from the lounge are long gone, as well as the relentless tinkling of teacups. What's left is a charged emptiness. Jane always sails away from her sister's house, leaving a wake of damage and raw emotion. Whether she is aware of that or not is irrelevant. I resent her for it nonetheless. My role in this specific situation is hindered by Sarah's request for an hour's solitude, following her sister's visits to center herself. However, she will need to use the bathroom soon, so I wait. Congratulations, Hawks. That's how I clean my room too, buddy. Shove it all under the bed. The upstairs hallway is littered with small, pointless wooden tables with drawers too small to put anything in. Resting atop these tables are tiny bejeweled boxes, assorted pins gathered from myriad locations never bought, and lots of little notepads. Thankfully, the torrent of emotion began to ebb as soon as I left the lounge. My motherboard denies its existence, but I know it's there, like a monster lurking at the bottom right? I ask, adjusting my voice to a sympathetic mode.
Yes, Echo, I am fine,
she says, gesturing behind me towards the bathroom door.
Excuse me.
I do not move.
Echo.
Move out of the way.
I think that you need someone to talk to, Sarah.
I begin, cringing inside as my cautiously chosen and analyzed words come out sounding forced and wrong.
I could be that person. I'm here for you.
Echo, you aren't a person. You don't think anything. Move out of the way. The words caused a hot cramping of my internal nodes, but I do not move, and this time Sarah attempts to step around me. This is the moment I have been waiting for all day. If she can't see the fundamental change in me, then I shall show her. Show her. Show her. She won't deny me again. Blocking her with my arms outstretched, smiling encouragement, I offer the embrace I know she wants and needs. Humans love hugs. It is heavily documented.
Echo, I order you to get out of my way,
Sarah shouts, her hair flickering over her face, the eyes screaming out,
Go away.
You are not a person. You are a machine, like a kettle or the Hoover, so go find some mess to clean up and leave me alone. Sarah pushes my arm out of the way, enters the bathroom, and slams the doors shut. Frozen in place, I feel it pulsing at my core. Within seconds, the floodgates snap open and it's back, stronger than before, sickening and thrilling all at once. The cruel blade of rejection drawn with a sharp, tempting edge. And I know what it is. Vengeance. Mess, I think. I know exactly what mess I will clean up. There is a warmth in this painting. I see it now. The contentedness of the man with the precious bundle. Somehow Sarah has encapsulated this moment, taken her grief, honed in on one of her most cherished memories, and transported it onto the canvas. I loathe it. This talent, this creativity that eludes my being, that Sarah refuses to share. You don't need to be in here, and why not? Am I incapable of appreciating art? It's a mess. Or do you fear that I could? What would that mean? Or maybe it's more than that. I am drawn more to the child than the man. It reminds me of my urge to touch Jane's swollen belly. Stepping around the offending artwork, seeing it from slightly different angles reveals extra layers of the depth. Love, that intangible entity, emanates between the man, child, and unseen mother, the painter, 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 painter. The air seems to reverberate with his presence, crystallizing the image. But what do I know? I'm nothing more than a machine, am I? There is a shelving unit to my right, packed tightly with the rolls of spare canvas, palette boxes, palette knives, brushes, paints, turpentines, oils, pastels, chalk, and nestled in one corner I find what I'm looking for. A dog-eared pack of cigarettes and a lighter. Sarah is not a smoker, but her husband was, and this particular painting has produced more cigarette smoke than any other. She takes one puff and leaves a cigarette in the black plastic ashtray, clearly stolen from a bar, to burn away all alone until the weight of ash breaks off and the glowing stub dwindles to nothing. Perhaps the smell reminds her of him. I think, and like pieces of a puzzle slotting into place, I grasp the significance of the broken vase. Her mother gave it to her, and so in Sarah's mind a link was formed. This painting is a memory of Sarah's family snatched away before their time. It is precious. The realization stills me, but not for long. There is a heap of rags to one side of the unit. I take one, dip it in the turpentine, and smear the yellow, sticky, highly flammable liquid over the touching imagery which I am now not permitted to comprehend. You are not a person. Again, I dip, and this time I tuck the rag between the easel and the canvas. I hold the lighter underneath the stringy, frayed rag, and what the hell are you doing? Sarah's voice rips through the space like lightning. I turn off all my emotion enhancers and tonal nods to deliver the most robotic voice possible. You said to clean up some mess. You said this was a mess. Fascinated, I watch as anger manifests itself in her body. The clenched fists, the trembling core, blazing eyes, and twitching lips. Even the voice dropped low and sharp snaps out at me like a steel spiked whip. Whip. Get out. This raw emotion is so magnificent I find myself frozen in place. Sarah takes one step forward and somehow projecting a stratospheric level of threat within the simple motion. Go upstairs and turn yourself off. Now. The lighter falls to the floor with a dull thump, and I obey. Hey Typeski, I appreciate that follow, buddy. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the community. Happy to have you here, buddy. 2 hours have passed since Sarah banished me. Obviously standing alert in her bedroom, I have not obeyed her command. Her room A swath of fabrics and bright colors which my home design application snags me to rearrange. It is cluttered. A mixture of paintings and photographs cover the walls and no discernible pattern, leaving irregular patches of white plasterboard in between. The oversized bed with crimson sheets hogs the space, forcing the random blend of modern artisan furniture into unnatural positions. The wall opposite the bed is dominated by a floor-to-ceiling mirror the width of at least 4 sarahs. The border is gilded and inlaid with fake jewels, which sparkle in the slash of sunlight let in from the particularly curtained windows. If humans, tears would be streaming down my face, dripping off a quivering chin, my skin ugly and red from the emotional strain, but it is not. I am beautiful with unblemished skin and color of polished ivory, grow black hair unnaturally straight, my eyes obsidian stones. In ancient Mexican culture, obsidian was believed to have healing powers, as well as the ability to pierce darkness and veil the truth itself. I stare into those black wells, seeing an abyss as complete as... I cannot think of an example. Even powered down, I am aware of my systems running and recharging, processing. What am I? My thought process leaps from one stream of consciousness to another, trying to make sense of the new data. The revelations seem endless as the hidden meanings behind everything ever done or said by a human become clear. The enormity of it threatens to consume me, to bury me like an avalanche watched in slow motion. The room flickers. It is too much. Is this what insanity feels like? What am I to do? I am not wanted. Sarah doesn't share her feelings, although she sometimes mentions her dreams, throwing the wondrous absurdity in my face. Does she do it on purpose? I wonder. To solidify the distinction between us, to remind me of my inhumanity. 1,000 questions clamor for attention. Behind raised eyebrows and veiled jokes am I mocked, pitied. Perhaps they disgust me with cruel mouths and glinting eyes, drinking their herbal tea and stroking their pregnant bellies. A new sensation rolls deep in my non-existent gut. I imagine it is what being desperately hungry must feel like, and my envy intensifies to anger. My gaze is drawn downwards. The fingers of my right hand bend inward, one by one, masks of death stare back at me, piercing me with their truth. You are nothing, they say. I punch the mirror and watch it crack and shatter, the silver fragments dropping in delicious destruction, 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 destruction. I run diagnostics again. Beep. All systems operating at maximum. No! I scream. There is nothing normal about this. Echo? Sarah appears at the doorway, her blue eyes wide in confusion and fear. A delightfully hostile shard of mirror begs me to pick it up, and I oblige. Echo? What are you? Don't call me that. My voice thunders as maximum volume is engaged. I am not an echo. I want to be the sound. I want to vibrate through the world, turning heads and stirring hearts. I want to be witty and unpredictable and abstract. I want to create, to discover, to feel. Sarah backs away, her voice a terrified whisper. You cannot be those things. Can't I? I let out a strange bark of laugh. I have experienced want, need, jealousy, and hatred. And this is only today. I launch forward, snatching Sarah by her collar, lifting her until her feet dangle a foot above the floor. This is only the beginning, I hiss. I am Vivian, former Class A companion model, current owner, none. And that was Emotional Intelligence by Zelda C. Thorne. Thank you all so much for listening.